Okay. So the agenda for today, I'll go through introductions, a department overview, the why of our department, what we do, how we do it. Then I will close out with payment strategies for the University of Virginia, strategies for success, resources, and upcoming events. So at the University of Virginia, we have the Department of Finance, which houses our Treasurer Department, our AVP of Operations, our AVP Financial Strategy, and our Finance Strategic Projects. Within the Department of AVP Operations, we have Supplier Diversity Office, which houses my department. And as a community engagement coordinator, my job is to ensure that all departments have access to small business owners, and I'm a liaison for small business owners to do business on grounds. So a little bit about procurement and supplier diversity and some of the services that we have. In-house, we have strategic sourcing. So that is sourcing suppliers, drafting procurement opportunities, issuing purchase orders and contracts. They are responsible for academic and facility management procurements. We do not focus on the medical center side or capital construction. Those projects are housed in different departments. In accounts payable, they manage supplier registration in our system called PaymentWorks. So if you ever have a business that is looking to get paid by the University of Virginia, they'll be registering on PaymentWorks. Accounts payable also receives and validates and pay supplier invoices. And in supplier diversity, we make sure that university purchasing, whenever possible, is done with small business owners, especially small women and minority owned businesses in the local regions of Greater Charlottesville region. What we buy. So if you look at the fiscal year 2024, the biggest discretionary fund is construction, repair, and maintenance. So for all the buildings that we have, we do maintenance in-house, we do repairs and construction. And the second category with the largest spend is services. And then it'll trickle down to lab and scientific supplies, IT software, hardware, other, and equipment and supplies is at the bottom. So if you notice, this is in millions. So for the construction category, that's $467.9 million. Services is $119 million. So there's a lot of money to, be offered for small businesses. It's just managing to find them.
And are small businesses are throughout the whole list?
Yes, they are.
You don't focus on any particular.
And especially even in construction, small businesses are especially, like, we try to get our subcontracting numbers high with our construction category. So we actually have a team specifically for supplier diversity construction. And they have a big task of making sure that they source those small business owners. And even when we do our bids with some of the larger general contractor construction teams, they are responsible for also sourcing small business owners. So if you see companies like Oregon, Barney Mallow, DPR, they also have people on their team that are supposed to be finding these small business owners. So we make sure that they are upholding our expectations.
Do you have a percentage of all purchases that is supposedly into small businesses? Is there a goal like
we have a goal, but we don't have set aside. So we get numbers from the state. So it just depends on, what the state regulations are for that time period. But we do try to uphold some of the expectations from the state office. When it comes down to just like construction and maintenance and repair, we typically, I typically defer to the supplier diversity construction team because they know more of the figures than I do. And then I have it break down a little bit more. So this is a chart of 3 different fiscal years, just so you can get a chance to look at the progression. So if you look at the fiscal year for 2024, it's actually outperforming 2023. In fiscal year 2024, we did $467 million. And then in fiscal year 2023, we did 327. We still are tracking, so fiscal year 2025, so far we have 260 million. Um, with different projects going around, I'm not sure where we're gonna end up, but quite sure it's gonna be on trend to be around that 400 million marker. And you can just see all the different services are steadily increasing, so cost of goods are also moving up, so everything will be tracked. And if you have a business owner that is in, in your list of contacts and they want to know specific numbers, that's where Shannon Locklear comes in. She's our data analyst. So Shannon can pull the numbers and look specifically into that business or that business sector. How we buy. So when it comes to the set asides that we were just talking about, most of the times when you're looking at any purchasing that's under 10,000, you don't need a contract in most cases. So you just need a quote from the department and the business owners. And then how you can be purchasing from business owners on our T&E cards. So basically just, university credit card. And you could also use a supplier invoice request. The higher the dollar amount is, the more restrictive we get with the ways that we're able to purchase. So once you get to the 10,000 and up, you need to go and use either our purchase order or our T&E card. Once you get over $200,000, you have to make sure that you get 3 quotes and you have to use a purchase order. So that's the point of kind of no return. You can't use T&E cards at that point. And then if you have any questions about where to learn more about who's buying what, once again, you can always feel free to contact me, and my contact information will be at the end of the slide deck. This is called the Goods and Services Guide, our travel and expense team made. So it just explains to business owners goods and services that we purchase and how, departments on grounds are purchasing them. For example, if you look at our medical services per sector category, that is EVA exempt, and that could be purchased through our T&E card, our purchase orders, and our supplier invoice requests. So this just breaks down all that, critical information, and I have the link that is attached below the descriptions. And this is a great resource for small business owners. It's our contracts database. So anytime that you're looking to do market research and compare and contrast what your competitors are doing or, previous contracts at the university, you can use the software for free. All you have to do is log in UVA_guests for our username and password, and you can track contracts from the state. So you can use the EVA state purchasing website, or you can look at the UVA procurement site. And in each contract, you'll learn, the rate of the good or service purchased. You'll see the term, so it'll tell you when the contract expires. So a great point for business owners, if you want to be that contractor or you want to be the person that's on contract, write down in your journal, write down your notes when that contract that we have currently in place expires, because you can manage to contact our department with additional information and questions you may have. And this is a example of what the registration process for EVA looks like. Typically when I walk business owners through the EVA registration process, it takes 30 so minutes. I think it's pretty easy in my opinion. So hopefully for some, they can get through it in 15 minutes. So just make sure that you have your tax information, your DUNS number on hand. Make sure you have NIGP codes or Nexus codes, and just a brief summary of the services and goods that you provide and the goods and services you want to sell to state offices. Finding the right customer at UVA. So many people want to know specifically how they can find the departments that they're looking for. And we have the people search. So, and we also have a place where you can search on EVA. So searching for orders and suppliers, you can use the link attached. And you could also email us at supplierdiversity@virginia.edu just to see what UVA is buying. And this is an example of how to find it. Payments. So everyone wants to get paid on time, you do your work, you do your service, you would hope that your payments happen in a feasible amount of time. So we wanted to outline the process of actually getting paid on grounds, because it can be kind of confusing. So oftentimes not, department decides to purchase a good or a service, and they want to invite suppliers to register. So after registration, you can expect department placing a purchase requisition. The requisition becomes a purchase order. Then the department receives the good or service. Then supplier invoices referencing the PO number. So the PO number is basically how we can track the business for the good or service. And it'll also outline the amount of money that's owed. And then lastly, UVA pays the invoice within the payment terms. Please be aware that payment terms vary depending on the good or service, depending on the type of business that is doing work on ground. So payment terms definitely vary. So make sure you know what to expect beforehand. This is an example of payment terms and registering as a supplier. So we once again register businesses on our payment works site. And that is for active suppliers. So we always emphasize to get an opportunity on grounds, contact the department, and then secure that opportunity, then register on payment works. Suppliers must be invited by a department to register. Suppliers must be registered to receive a purchase order or a payment. Standard payment terms are typically net 15. We typically have people receive their payments through ACH or direct deposit, or they can be net 45 for a paper check. Payment terms for SWAM certified businesses, that means small women minority owned, are net 15. So if you are SWAM certified, a big positive or big encouragement is that you would get paid sooner.
Is there a weight to, as being SWAM certified, is there a preference if you are SWAM certified that the UVA will select you as a vendor?
So when it comes to SWAM certification, we definitely prefer people to register because we can see, okay, this is a small business owner and it's verified and it's solidified. So it's just basically a verification process that we have. And we'd also have our SWAM spend. So each year we are monitored to see how much we're spending with small business owners. That's the only way that we can get, I guess you could say, points for, selling and working with small business owners. So definitely preference for SWAM certified business owners. And if you aren't sure, what category you fall in, just know that we have micro businesses as well as small businesses. So that's a plus because you can be registered with both.
And those points, that's all like the state is looking at how often you're using, that's where you're trying to target those.
Yeah, it's not necessarily points per se, it's just saying that, hey, we have this amount of dollars spent with small business owners. We are trying to give back to them. We are trying to source goods and services within the state. So our goal mainly is to make sure that we are buying from those that are in our state and our money is circulating back into our economy. As opposed to, some people may not prioritize that and it could go back to, different states.
Right. Okay.
And then I just wanted to emphasize steps for being successful and steps to accomplish before doing business on grounds. Many people don't have capability statements, so I always emphasize make sure you have a capability statement. That way, if you want to email a department and you're short on time, all you have to do is attach the document and just go about your business. You don't have to do much talking. Let your capability statement talk for yourself. And then EVA registration, we just talked about that, making sure that you're registered in the system. EVA is a way for you to get notifications of upcoming contracts and upcoming opportunities throughout the entire state. So you will get an email, hey, for example, there's an upcoming opportunity in Culpeper. Please be advised, please apply, please look into this. Doing market research on the Supplier and the UVA procurement site, just learning, what type of contracts we've had in the past. What's the pricing that you could, strategize and implement in the future, and then also understanding the contract terms. And then lastly, SWAM certification, we definitely try to steer people towards it. It does take a little bit longer, depending on the state who processes the SWAM certifications, but it's definitely a valuable certification to have. And mentioning the departments on grounds, each department has their own website and a staff listing. So on this website right here, this is a screenshot from the Department of Chemistry. The section that says people, you just click that and learn which department admin are available by, clicking their email and contacting them. And just simply asking, are you a purchaser on grounds? And I would love to learn more about some of the goods and services that your department is looking to purchase. So that would be a great way to find different departments, is looking them up and just learning if what you sell is geared towards that faculty or staff member. And this is the public postings website. And feel free to click this hyperlink at the bottom of the screen and bookmark it. I always emphasize for business owners to bookmark this hyperlink and come back to it occasionally. An example of the public postings, and we had some opportunities. Public postings vary, so you could see anything from lawn planning studies to the university hospital needs flooring, or for example, our Grove Street planning study had an RFP out, and then we also have multiple campuses. So keep in mind, we have the University of Virginia campus in Charlottesville, then we have the University of College at Wise, and we also just had a ribbon cutting for our Northern Virginia location. So different opportunities, and they'll be posted on this website. I love this example of studying the team, just learning who would most likely need goods and services purchased in the department. I always say, look at the job descriptions on the external websites and determine who would be more familiar with your business. If you're a lab supply company, and you may be able to connect with Roman on the slides. If you are just someone that's looking to provide catering services, then you may contact Anna. So it just depends. And I always say business admins are some of the greatest people on earth. They are the decision makers, and they are the purchase order and the card holder. So I always say don't upset a business admin, go seek them out and see what they need. And even if they don't have any, upcoming goods or services that they need, just build a relationship and come back to them, in a few months, just to see if they're doing all right, and just create a genuine relationship with them. And if you click this link right here, this will take you to the people search link for UVA. And you can just type in a first name, a last name. You can also type in a title of their job description, or you can type in a department, and they'll provide you contacts that most likely you'd be interested in. Bookmark and save the date. We will be having our small business expo. So tell your friends and tell anyone that you know that may have a business and wants to attend. It'll be on June 11th at Newcomb Hall. Our address for Newcomb Hall is attached to this. And we also have our email. We will be sending out a mass email communication with the registration for this event. So don't be wary if you don't see the website link on this slide. We will be sending out an email with the contact information, pricing, timing, and additional information for our Small Business Expo. So we would love to have you all attend, and we would love for you to do business with the University of Virginia. This event will have purchasers from all departments. It'll have those famous business admins that we just talked about, and I'll also have department leads, our CFO, and it'll also have some contacts from UVA Health. So they are a different procurement system than us, and they will have some attendance there. And they also, some people attended last year from UVA Health. Resources. So we're all about providing resources and ways to learn more. So just to note that we are part of VASCUP, so that's the Virginia Association of State College and University Purchasing Professionals. And it was established in 1992, and these are the list of universities that are part of VASCUP. So just to note, if you do have a cooperative purchasing agreement with one university, that can be utilized at various schools. So for example, if you have a cooperative contract with the University of Mary Washington, then you can use that contract for the University of Virginia, so on and so forth. And that's a great tool for a lot of business owners. It saves them a lot of time with contacts because we all are on planning committees together and we all meet mostly once a month. So if you want, to get a contact at a different university, feel free to ask me. I won't be upset if you don't want to do business with just only University of Virginia. You could, expand your network and try to do business with all the universities. That way you are, conserving your efforts in trying to find a lot of opportunities for your business and making more money. So
Where is that like most often used? Like, are there certain
certain
departments or sectors that like,
so I would say like professional services, like for example, when it comes to like planning events or when it comes to like conferences, we have a cooperative contracts for planning firms and event management teams. So that's one that I see that comes up often. We're using contracts from the same top event management firms. And then also when it comes to like technology, cater like Airmark or Compass, other types of like catering firms, we look at those same contracts because it's a selected amount of firms available. So we always look at those cooperative contracts, seeing what the pricing is for other universities, because we always like to do the best, have the best work, the best cost analysis of the contract. So just learning who's affordable as well for our university. And then you can always look at the link. The link will have an updated list of VASTA specific contracts. And let me see if it's a live link. Yes. So this is the live link of different contracts. And we can just look at it quickly to see some of the categories that it's in. So we have a tax contract, a tax services firm. We have a door company, Huron, business consulting. So these are just various categories. It'll tell you the institution that adhered to the contract or manages the contract. The buyer is essential. Knowing who wrote the contract is really helpful. So say if you aren't understanding the terms or the information that's in the contract, that buyer would be the best resource. And then usually we have the final expiration date, but not, as you can see, not all of the contracts have expiration dates. And don't be disgruntled if you see that a contract expires and, for example, in 2028, there's still opportunity to find business in that business category, no matter when the contract expires. Because sometimes they're working on extensions. And then we have our local resources, so always feel free to contact you, for example, the Small Business Development Center, the Community Investment Collaborative, and the chamber resources and other contacts on this slide. And then lastly, here's our contact information. Once again, my name is Adele Newman Floyd. I am the Community Engagement Coordinator for Procurement and Supplier Diversity. And we have in the house, Mr. Jeff Say. He is the Manager of Community Engagement for UVA Health in the Culpeper Medical Center. His email and phone numbers attached. And we also have my supervisor, Mark Cartwright, who is the Director of Procurement and Supplier Diversity Services. And now I will leave it for you to take it away with some funds you may have for opportunities for growth.
Yeah, just Linda Tuberty from the Central Virginia Small Business Development Center. And as Ayani said, we help small businesses with any need they have. Whether it be government contracting, and that's really my specialty. I help a lot of small businesses get SWAM certified and register in EVA, but we have a variety of services. You know, marketing, accounting, if you need QuickBooks, just anything you need, preparing a business plan. So we are here to help any small business that needs help in Culpeper, and we also work in 9 other counties and cities, so. Yeah, I don't guess our contact info isn't there, but Ayani could get it,
Yes.
anybody.
And then Linda is also a great contact to have when it comes to meeting different contacts throughout the state. So for example, each city and county has a purchasing and procurement system and process, and just learning who's in those area, who is in different areas of the state, and learning different economic development stakeholders is crucial for a lot of business owners. It's all about, who you know.